The Grand Theft Auto franchise has made it abundantly clear that they have intentionally made parody products and references in their previous games, and fans were really excited that the return of these parodies would be in GTA 6 as well. However, many references flew over people's heads, but it's a crucial thing to know how these references will impact the future of the storyline to give people a better understanding of what was going through Rockstar's head during their multi-billion-dollar development. Today, we're going to be going over 10 hidden references in the GTA 6 trailers, starting with what shaped the entire story: Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde were a romantic couple back in the early 1930s. During the Great Depression, they were known as notorious American outlaws who, along with their gang, robbed small stores, gas stations, and banks across the central US. Many people have speculated that Rockstar was inspired to create Lucia and Jason based on these two characters. This couple also could have heavily influenced parts of the GTA 6 story, as shown by various similar clips to the movie. Others say that their story could also be based off the movie The Place Beyond the Pines. However, the story doesn't resonate as much as Bonnie and Clyde to the GTA 6 story, mainly because the main character, Luke, robs banks to help his son. Judging by the trailers of GTA 6, Lucia and Jason don't have a son, so I highly doubt it. But let me know down in the comments below what you think. Moving over to our second reference, we have to go back and look at the first trailer. And as many of you may know, most of these segments showed actual real-life events portrayed in the game. But there was one individual in particular that sparked a lot of interest because it's someone that many recognized. His name is Lawrence Sullivan, aka the Miami Joker. He is a South Florida resident who gained notoriety after his 2017 mugshot, mostly due to his obscene look, which went absolutely viral. People were so surprised and were waiting for his response, thinking this was planned with him through Rockstar. However, he responded way differently and in a way that no one would expect.
You might have seen that character on GTA 6. You know they got that character with the face tattoos. You know who they got that inspired by? GTA. We gotta talk.
He then went on to make multiple escalating demands for compensation from Rockstar Games. While he initially demanded $1 to $2 million, he later increased his demands to $10 million, and eventually threatened legal action for $20 million for quote-unquote pain and suffering, as well as defamation. According to some sources, he then dropped the claim. This makes sense because a lot of lawyers spoke out on Twitter, and most of them said referencing someone isn't enough to be unlawful. In my opinion, he was just trying to get that bag, and honestly, who would blame him? There are urban riders over many parts of the United States, having meetups with hundreds of thousands of views. This is also shown in the GTA 6 trailer, in one of the news clips, and is also a reference from Grand Theft Auto 5. We have had many biker gangs in the past, and I guarantee you will be able to make your own company as a biker gang. And I'm so glad that Rockstar decided to bring this back for Grand Theft Auto 6, because it gives people versatility with their businesses. This is a very subtle reference, but a huge part of YouTube culture and several places across the United States. Now moving back to trailer 2, we have a very subtle but powerful fourth reference. It's very hyper-specific, however, it is very meaningful to Florida's past and present. It also shows the enormous amount of time Rockstar put into the thought of this game's development and backstory. A snake can be spotted in multiple clips, which shows that this is evidence that there will be pets in the game. But Florida has a very bad Burmese python crisis in the Everglades, an invasive species problem so severe that Florida now holds python hunting competitions annually. It could be possible that this is a challenge as well in Grand Theft Auto 6, which would really show the level of depth they went into putting into this game. Also, owning large exotic snakes was heavily associated with Florida's 2000 drug dealer aesthetic, documented in numerous DEA case files and Miami Herald investigations. In trailer 1, there were a lot of recognizable false branded cars that Rockstar teased, but there was one in particular that would probably help shape part of the storyline. This car right here is a 1969 Dodge Charger. However, it's not just any regular Dodge Charger. This car is a specific reference from the movie Dukes of Hazzard, which in my opinion is one of the coolest movies. Rockstar definitely got some inspiration from the movie because this car was used for escapes, and judging by the context of the trailer, the same will be used for this one as well. Staying on topic of false brands, many may remember the main drink brand for Grand Theft Auto 5, and that is Pibwasser. However, there are a multitude of false drink brands in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer as well. First, we can see what seems to be the hard shit, Svedka or Smirnoff in the trailers, as well as Hennessy, and so much more. The only draft beer brands I could really spot is Modelo, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Thaw, which is White Claw, I wouldn't even consider that a beer though, Pendejo, which is Corona, judging by the crown, and I'm guessing this logo is referring to Coors Light based on the same logo being on one of the mini fridges from the bar. But it's cool the attention to detail Rockstar went with this one, even though it's something subtle. It shows how extensive they went with their branding, which we could possibly see with clothing as well. Now this one again is more subtle, but has a lot of meaning based on the context. In trailer 2, we can see a truck towing a safe, and if you're a big Fast and Furious fan, you'll know that that references to Fast 5's safe heist, and when I was a kid, I thought this was so badass. This reference also shows that Rockstar will give a little bit of everything with heists. Some will be super over the top, and some will be a little bit more minimal with the gameplay. I'm so glad they decided to do this because their target audience ranges from basic players all the way to advanced and over-the-top players. In Reference 8, there's a very specific detail about this NPC. It actually references a genuinely documented Florida phenomenon, the Villages, a massive retirement community in Central Florida. It actually has one of the highest golf cart and mobility scooter DUI arrest rates in the United States. The first time I actually saw this, I had to Google, can you get a DUI on a mobility scooter? And what do you know? You actually can. Now, if you live in Texas, you actually can't get a DUI if you're riding a horse. And also in North Carolina, based on this dude's response.
You cannot get a DUI on a horse in the state of North Carolina. Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah, that dude's life. It's fucking awesome. In Reference 9, we have a broad reference, but a very meaningful one. In the movie Miami Vice, two Miami detectives, Sonny Crockett and Rico Tubbs, infiltrate South Florida's drug trade. What made it culturally massive wasn't just the story, but the aesthetic it created. Pastel suits, Ferraris, speedboats, neon lights, and a version of Miami that was simultaneously glamorous and deeply criminal. It essentially invented the visual language that Vice City has always been built on. Rockstar's openly acknowledged Miami Vice as a primary influence on the original Grand Theft Auto Vice City in 2002. GTA 6 returning to Vice City means they're returning to that same well deliberately. There's also a specific trailer connection, which is the speedboat formation racing through the bay alongside shipping containers. That composition is pulled directly from the movie's iconic opening sequence of boat chases. I decided to save the best for last since a lot of GTA fans have wanted to see this in a few previous titles, but were disappointed when it wasn't added. The underground cage fighting can be visible in trailer 2, which references two things simultaneously. First, the real documented history of illegal underground MMA circuits operating through South Florida, which was documented by local law enforcement through the 2010s. Secondly, it directly mirrors the Fight Club mechanic from underground fighting in Grand Theft Auto 4, where you could enter illegal bare knuckle tournaments. I'm so glad that Rockstar is bringing back one of the most beloved side activities with a modern visual upgrade. Now, sadly, the fighting mechanics in Grand Theft Auto 5 were very much toned down. However, in recent games like Red Dead Redemption 2, fighting mechanics drastically grew, and I think we can see even better mechanics with the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite and funniest reference is. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for all GTA 6 news and also GTA 6 commentary. Anyways, guys, it's been your boy Tricky, and I'm out. Peace.